Welcome back to Bills, Bets, and Beers. I'm your host, Chad, and this is going to be a great video because we're talking about Bills vs. Giants preview and same game parlays. I'm going to be going over through those breakdowns for you guys, but let's jump right into it. Like I always start off with, I got my injury report. I got a ticker on the bottom for you as well. Um, Bills cleaned up a lot of injuries this week. It was really good. We have Christian Benford, full participation all week. Same thing for Greg Rousseau. That's going to be massive. I am really hoping Dane Jackson gets into this game with his foot injury. I know he didn't participate Wednesday, Thursday, but if we have Benford and Jackson back there for most of this game, that's going to make it so much easier. I know they have a weak offensive line, but we need Dane Jackson and Benford back there because I don't want to see Elam on this field unless he needs to be. Then you have Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, both questionable for this game. The concussion worries me a little bit more with Dalton Kincaid. I think he could get definitely brought back and active for this game, but who knows at this point. Right now, we're just kind of in a loop, in a holding pattern for this, because concussions are very touch and go. So I'm really hoping he comes back, because if Knox is in there, at least we have a catching tight end, and we can throw Gilliam on the other side for 12 personnel. If both are gone, it's gonna be a very interesting week in how they manage this offensive scheme. Then jump over to the Giants side. They got big issues. Daniel Jones out with a neck injury. Then you have their good defensive end Aziz Ojulari. He has an ankle injury and he's out as well. Then on their offensive line, you have offensive tackle Mac Pert, center John Michael Schmitz, and offensive tackle Andrew Thomas, all out with shoulder, hamstring. That's massive for them. That's most of their offensive line. Two of those were starters. One was a backup. It's not looking really solid for them at this point. And then you have Darren Waller and Saquon Barkley still questionable for this game. I see them both coming back and playing, but if not, Breed is going to have to really step up for the Giants. Same thing for Tyrod. I think Tyrod's going to be running a lot. But past those injury reports, let's get into the storylines. We have Tyrod Taylor coming back to play in Highmark against this beat-up Bills defense. I mean, at least the secondary, because we have Milano out, we have Daquan Jones out now. It's very frustrating, that last game, how many injuries we got from it. But we do have Von Miller still in here. He should be playing a lot better this week and getting a lot more reps. And then you have Greg Rousseau coming back. Hopefully Wagner shows up a little bit more this game. And honestly, like I said, if Elam's not on the field, we should be fine. I think if we have Dane Jackson and Benford out there, they can hold down their wide receivers good enough to make this a big blowout. And then I think Tyrod's gonna be scoring a touchdown. I guess the spoiler alert in one of my parlays. Then I have a bounce back game. The Bills offense. It's gonna be a potential blowout for us, I think. I think we have the chance to win by 4 touchdowns again, easily. And it all depends on my next storyline. What's the Bills offense going to look like if both tight ends can't play? By that point, when we have Reggie Gilliam, who's a fullback tight end, and I forgot the other backup tight end, the third tight end we have, but it's not going to be pretty. We're gonna have to go break out of our 12 personnel and probably get more passes to Shakir, to those slot guys, and it's just gonna be interesting how they play, if that ever has to come down to that. Because with how they've been injured so far this year, it's potentially gonna happen. Knock on wood, but I really hope it never does. And at least we have one of them on the field at all times, between Kincaid and Knox, so that Gilliam can come in and play the blocking role or the passing role, because he can do either on the other side for them. Lastly, on these storylines, we have Dable versus McDermott. And it's going to be the Dable offense versus the McDermott defense, which is very interesting. I'm just curious which one's going to show up more. I think the Dable offense is going to struggle with all their injuries on the line and Tyrod's first game coming back in. It's not going to be very pretty for them. But this defense has a lot of injuries as well. So it's going to be interesting who exploits what on certain parts of this game. But like I said, it should be a blowout for the Bills. No, hopefully a non-stressful game, but I thought the same thing was going to happen in the Jags game, and not blowout, but like non-stressful in a sense. That did not happen. As everyone knows. Next up, one of my favorite ones, player of the game. So I just love players of the game because you just get to see and see, especially when I have other people on here, what they think is going to be an impact player for us for the Bills and vice versa for their own team. I'm doing both, but I got Gabe Davis for the offense for the Bills. I think Stephon Diggs is going to be doing great. I don't think he's going to have a problem, but eventually they're going to start double or triple teaming him over there, and then Davis is going to have to just exploit that and just make up his own 100-yard game as well. I think it's going to be a massive game throwing for Allen. Also on the ground, I think Cook can come in as well, but I just think Gabe Davis is a bigger part just because having a wide receiver too that can exploit those things when they start really just covering, like blanketing your wide receiver one, having him being able to show up as a big wide receiver two that we know he can be, that's going to be huge. Then you have Greg Rousseau on the defense, just him coming back off injury. I want to see that energy, give a big boost of energy for this defense. Even injured, they played pretty well against, I guess I would say, a challenging offense that the Jags have. And they did their part enough. The offense just didn't score enough. And they were on the field so much by the end, they were just beat. So that run, I don't really blame the defense too much. Yeah, it was on them, but that was just a horrible thing by the offense where they just came out flat 3/4 of that game. And you can't do that in this league. Then I got Giants, Matt Breida on the offense. I think Breida is going to be a big piece for this. I said Breida because I didn't think Saquon was going to play initially, but it's leaning towards he is playing. And if he does play, it's going to be him or Breida, whatever starting running back it is. If they can get something going on the run where we have to try to stack the boxes a little bit more, and we have Elam out on the island, even like a Dane Jackson out there on the island, I think Dane can handle his own. But at a certain point, Slayton or someone's going to get a big pass because Tyrod's going to be shooting for those. On the Bills, he loved doing those, and I don't think he changed his approach to things. And it's stable still. So you get what you get, pretty much. So I think it's going to be very important for that to happen for them. And then defense, I just said the DBs in general. Their DBs are really going to have to step up and give their defensive line a chance to break through and pressure Allen. And if they can do that, if the DBs can have basically cause and force a coverage sack, that's going to be huge for them. Who knows if that actually going to happen? It's just the potential. That's what I'm saying. Players of the game is if this happens, it gives them the chance to actually win the game. And if they don't play well, it also gives them a chance to lose. Another one of my favorite segments coming up. Shout out to Command This podcast. I just twisted a little bit. Bills lose if my big thing here is if both tight ends can't play at all. They decide to sit them, and our offense can't get into a rhythm without a 12 personnel now. Because I don't think it will be that drastic. I've just noticed that's the type of scheme that Ken Dorsey wanted, and sometimes last year we came out flat too because of it. And if we don't have two tight ends on that field, it's gonna make it a little bit harder on this offense to get things moving and be more comfortable, I think. or Ken Dorsey's comfortable playing, like calling certain plays. So that's just my opinion on that. I mean, I just want to see what they do if we ever get down to that situation. And best man up, we can't fill that tight end position, so we have to go back to 11 personnel. I mean, we have the running backs to play 12 still, but it's not going to be the same as having both those tight ends on there. So, anyways, let's get into my same game parlays here. So, I got a couple going on. I'll start off with my big 6-leg parlay. It's low risk, high reward as usual. I got my 6-leg DK parlay bet. It's 50% parlay boost. They do this all the time on there. If you're not never been on there, definitely check them out. I got Gabe Davis for anytime touchdown, and like I said earlier, I gave a little spoiler. Tyrod Taylor anytime as well. I think he's gonna run one in at one point. Probably be one of their only touchdowns, but he's still gonna get one in. Then I got Josh Allen over 300 plus yards, passing yards. This was an alternate choice. Then I got Stephon Diggs, 100 plus alt receiving yards. Same thing. Instead of going for like the 99.5 or whatever they had for an over, I just decided to go for 100 plus alt. Then I got James Cook, 60 plus alt running yards. I'm hoping he bounces back, shows that he's the running back that we know he can be, and just they play to his potential by not just stuffing him up the gut and having him bounce out like 2-3 tackles over, like 2-3 holes over, something like that, and using his speed to maneuver through and make people miss. And stop with that delayed handoff stuff because it's not really benefiting Cook as much. And then you have the Darius Slayton over 25.5 receiving yards. He's one of their main receivers. I think he's going to get at least 25 yards, but he was like one of the only receivers I could choose from as well. I didn't want to be all Bills, so I chose to put him in here this time because I could see him getting over 25.5 receiving yards, especially in some garbage time stuff, which I'm predicting to see. At least almost probably a whole quarter of garbage time, or at least half quarter. But yeah, that turns my $1 into $166. That's pretty good odds. And honestly, it's not too dramatic. Obviously, the 50% boost helped me get up to that high, but I really think that was a really good chance of hitting this time. Then I got another one coming up. It's right here. And of course, 1 second. It's tinkering. Here we go. Okay. Well, that is a ticker, not an actual thing. Okay, cool. This is my 5-leg I put in. It's my $10 no sweat bet that I lost on Thursday night by one friggin' thing. And using it all on this, it's like I went really high stakes with this one because if it all hits, it's be great. Josh Allen, 325 plus passing yards, alternate. Stephon Diggs, 120 plus receiving yards, alternate. I just added on to what I think is going to happen. The other one was more safe. This is getting towards the edge where they could not have potential of hitting it. The Allen one, maybe if we're up by too much, he's not going to have to throw as often. But Diggs, I see him getting that 120 plus, easy. Then you have James Cook, over 16.5 receiving yards. I think they're going to try to use him by just dumping off to him, especially if we're missing one of the tight ends. He's going to get more passes, and he's going to turn a catch into probably a 20, 30-yard run, and that's going to get me my bet. Then I have Graham Gano, their Giants kicker, getting over 4.5 points in kicking. That's just 2 field goals. I don't think that's too crazy to think. I think we're going to be holding them to around 16 to 19 points anyways, and most of those are going to be field goals if they get those. And then total points, I got over 44 points total on the game, and I think the Bills are going to score probably 30 to 35 to 40 points of that. And I think this could be another big game for this offense, showing what we can do, and then the defense showing what they can do even with being injured. This is not a great team to face. We have to show that we are the better team and prove it by just stomping them into the ground. And that's the only way we're going to show that to the media because, and honestly, as a Bills fan, you have to see it after the game like last week. Going up against a team like this and showing we are the better team, considering how the Dolphins struggled initially in this game against the Giants. Next, I've got my score prediction here. This one's pretty easy. I'm just going 42 to like 16 Giants. Giants are going to get their field goals, get that touchdown for Tyrod, and honestly, I don't see them getting much more. If they creep towards the 20s, I'm not going to be super shocked if it's in garbage time. But our defense has been good, even when it's garbage time, keeping them out. Because if we're getting 42, they're not getting that much. They're not on the field that much. So the defense has time to rest and be all full bore the full game and show the world what the defense can be, even with missing a starting corner, best linebacker we have, Matt Milano, Daquan Jones, a good run stopper in the middle. It's just we got hit so hard with all those injuries, but I could see us still coming out and just showing us that we're going to be a dominant defense no matter what. I got some upcoming videos as well. I'm going to be starting, I think, on a Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, doing a weekly recording, probably a live recording with my one of my coworkers. He's very smart when it comes to college. He knows everything. He knows where every quarterback went, quarterback, running back, the bigger players, and like what their potential is, everything like that, and what he thought about them at the time, and all those stats and things he has for that. I want to get with him and set up some college parlays and just go through top 5 college games of the week and just kind of break them down with him and get his opinion on stuff and then also throw in my opinions as well. And we do some research for it. And then at the end, we'll probably put together a couple parlays and see if we can get anything to hit. Then next I'll be doing a Thursday night football parlay, preview and same game parlay videos like I've been doing. I'm gonna start getting back into those again, but I'm gonna probably drop those on like a Tuesday, Monday, or Tuesday because that's when they kind of have any good parlays to put in for that. On top of that, I'm gonna be trying to do Bills versus Giants post game reaction. I probably live stream it after the game, or I'll drop it on Monday. Do a recording that night and drop it Monday morning because I really want to get back into doing stuff like that again. I just haven't had much time, but I'm really gonna try to make an effort for that. And yeah, then just obviously the same thing coming up. Bills versus just my weekly Bills video and previewing and games and stuff like that. If I got my sponsors, I got to shout out my buddy Evan over at Mr. Nasty Time. He has a great YouTube channel. He puts out these ranking videos, quarterbacks, running backs. He does power rankings every 4 weeks for the NFL in general. He has a lot of great content, some good knowledge, and the videos are always a great content. He also does some streaming videos like for gaming and stuff on there as well. So definitely go and check him out. He's very smart, and whenever he's talking on there, he has the knowledge to back everything up he's saying. Then go over and check out my wife's page on Instagram. It's at Crochet with Alicia. She does a lot of stuff with like hats, mittens, gloves, cardigans, blankets, and stuffed animals as well. Whatever you can think of, she can make. If you shoot her saying like a DM saying, hey, I would like a cardigan and this color, she'll ask you what size you wear. She'll make sure like gets the pattern for it and everything like that. It's winter's coming up, so definitely check it out because she does hats, gloves, mittens, scarves, anything you could think of for like little baby toddlers to literal infants to full-grown adults, teenagers, anything you can think of, she can make it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Go Bills, and I'm out.